The Dallas Cowboys are heading into the season with two glaring question marks, and they're both on defense, cornerback and defensive tackle. Now, it's not just the fans pointing this out. Some of the most plugged-in Cowboys insiders are openly hinting that additions are coming, maybe at both spots, and possibly before the first game even kicks off. This isn't a vague rumor. Stephen Jones himself has said these positions could use improvement, and when the front office admits that, it's a sign. The concern is real. John Machota from The Athletic has already penciled in an unnamed cornerback on his roster projection, essentially predicting a move. Nick Eatman of COWBOYS.com took it a step further, suggesting that multiple new corners could arrive. Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram is pointing at defensive tackle as another spot that could see outside help. When reporters who are this close to the team are all sounding the same alarm, it's not by accident. The truth is, both of these positions are light on proven depth. The Cowboys' pass defense relies heavily on having reliable corner play, and the run defense simply can't function if the defensive line can't hold its ground. That's why this debate is picking up steam. If Dallas only addresses one position, which should it be? Cornerback, to protect against NFC East passing attacks? Or defensive tackle, to stop teams from controlling the clock with the run game? As of right now, the Cowboys are walking a fine line. They might get lucky with internal development, but they might also get burned if injuries strike early. The reality is that Week 1 is coming fast, and these question marks could turn into glaring problems against top-level competition. So let's make it official. If you had to choose just one, what's the bigger need for Dallas right now? Type CB in the comments if you think cornerback is the priority, or type DT if you think stopping the run is more important. And while you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss real Cowboys updates. We're pushing hard for 16,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps keep this community strong. The cornerback situation in Dallas right now is being called unserious for a reason, and when you break it down, it's hard to argue. Trayvon Diggs' recovery timeline remains a mystery, and until he's fully back, the Cowboys are relying on a group that simply doesn't inspire much confidence for a team with championship aspirations. Right now, your healthy corners are Darren Bland, Kaiir Elam, and Andrew Booth. Three guys with varying levels of experience, but only one proven star in Bland. Beyond them, the depth chart is filled with question marks. You've got Israel Mukuamu, who some believe is the third best healthy corner on the roster, but the coaching staff doesn't seem to be as high on him. Then there's Robert Rochelle and Troy Pride, players who have bounced around the league and haven't cemented themselves as starting caliber options. The nickel corner spot is an even bigger issue. If Bland is forced to stay outside, the options inside are names like Keemon Hall or Zion Childress. Those guys might be fine as your fifth or sixth cornerback, special teams contributors, but if they're covering A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith in the slot, that's asking for trouble. This is the kind of mismatch that can decide games in the NFC East, and right now the Cowboys don't have a solid answer for it. Nick Eatman didn't hold back when talking about this on 105.3 The Fan. He flat out said there's no way Dallas can go into the season with the cornerback group they currently have. He even suggested that one or two new corners could be added before Week 1, and honestly, he's right. One injury at the position could push the Cowboys into a full-on crisis, forcing them to shuffle the lineup and rely on players who haven't shown they can handle top assignments. So here's the real question. Do you think the Cowboys will bring in a legitimate starting caliber corner before the first game? Type Y for yes, N for no. And if you've got a name in mind, drop it in the comments. This is your chance to play GM. When it comes to finding help at cornerback, the Cowboys actually have several realistic options, both in free agency and on the trade market. Let's start with the free agents, because these are players you can sign right now without giving up draft capital. At the top of the list is Stephon Gilmore, and for good reason. He's a proven veteran, familiar with the Cowboys system from last season and could slide right in as an outside starter. The big question is money. Does Dallas want to pay what it would take to get him? Gilmore might be more willing to play nickel in certain situations if the paycheck is right, and pairing him with Darren Bland could give Dallas a strong outside duo until Trayvon Diggs is fully healthy. Then there's Asante Samuel, a talented player but one with concerns. He had neck surgery earlier this year, and there's been no recent update on his health. The silence could mean bad news, and the Cowboys can't afford to gamble on someone who might not be ready to play soon. Rasul Douglas is another option, though he reportedly wants a guaranteed starting job. Kendall Fuller offers flexibility. He can play outside or in the slot, which might be valuable given the Cowboys' nickel depth issues. If Dallas wants to explore trades or potential cut candidates, there are some intriguing names. Cam Smith from Miami is a young, long corner who hasn't lived up to expectations, but fits the Cowboys' mold for size. Damari Mathis in Denver offers inside-outside versatility and could be the odd man out in a crowded room. Joshua Williams from Kansas City has starting experience and length, and might be gettable if the Chiefs decide to move on. Beyond them, there are veterans like Adoree Jackson, Ambry Thomas, and even Elijah Jones, players who might not be stars, but could stabilize the depth chart. Now, I want you to weigh in. If you had to sign one today, who would it be? Gilmore, Fuller, or Douglas? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this before they even hit the mainstream, hit that like button. It helps this channel keep delivering real Cowboys talk. While cornerback has been getting a lot of attention, the defensive tackle situation in Dallas is just as concerning, maybe even more so when you think about what it means for stopping the run. Nick Harris recently wrote that it wouldn't be surprising if the eventual starter next to Osa Odigizua isn't even on the roster right now. That's a telling statement. At the moment, you can pencil in 3 locks for the 53-man roster: Osa Odigizua, Mazi Smith, and Solomon Thomas. After that, things get murky fast. Jay Toya and Perion Winfrey are battling for spots, but neither has done enough to prove they can be a reliable answer in the rotation. Toya's preseason debut didn't exactly inspire confidence, and while Winfrey has flashed in spurts, consistency remains a big question. The bigger issue is that this defensive tackle group looks eerily similar to last year's unit, the same one that struggled and eventually forced Dallas to make late additions. There's not much size in the room, and that's a problem when you're trying to stand up to power-running games. You can't expect Mazi Smith to take a massive leap overnight, and even if he does, one player alone can't fix the middle of a defense. If the Cowboys go into the season without adding help here, they're risking getting pushed around up front. The NFC has teams that can win games just by dominating the line of scrimmage, and right now, Dallas doesn't have the bodies to match that style of play for 4 quarters. This isn't about making a flashy move. It's about finding someone who can give you 20 solid snaps a game, anchor against the run, and let your linebackers flow to the ball. Without that, you're relying too much on undersized interior players to take on double teams. So let's put it to a quick vote. Type 1 if you think Dallas will add another DT before Week 1, or type 0 if you think they're going to roll with what they have. And if you're serious about getting every roster update the moment it happens, make sure you subscribe now. The defensive tackle market has some names that would meaningfully upgrade Dallas's interior, but each comes with trade-offs that you need to understand before you cheer for a splash. At the top of the realistic list is Christian Wilkins, a proven disruptor who wins one-on-one and changes blocking schemes. If he's healthy and cleared, he immediately gives you those 20-plus snaps a game you need to stop the run and collapse pockets. The issues with Wilkins are availability, medical clearance timing, and some off-field noise that could complicate a deal, so he's a high-upside, medium-risk target. Raekwon Davis gives you size, He's thick and can eat blocks, but his tape is inconsistent, and he's had stretches where he didn't justify big money investment. He's a fit if you want a true space eater and are willing to gamble on revival. Linval Joseph is the veteran option who knows how to anchor a line and provide steady run-stopping snaps. He's the kind of low-variance signing that stabilizes a rotation without promising a huge ceiling. Beyond those names, there are cheaper cut or trade candidates who could be serviceable. Derek Anati brings nose tackle experience. Keandre Coburn and John Ridgway are bigger bodies who can clog gaps. Broderick Martin has some upside if available, and guys like DJ Davidson or Quinton Bohanna give you rotational depth without breaking the bank. The realistic approach for the Cowboys might be a two-pronged plan. Kick the tires on a high-upside vet like Wilkins if the medicals check out, while also picking up one of the available nose types to shore up Week 1 run defense. That dual move buys you immediate competence and keeps you from getting gashed in the trenches while waiting on developmental leaps from Mozzie Smith or internal breakout from Perry and Winfrey. So here's a closing poll for you. If you could only sign one, Stephon Gilmore at corner or Christian Wilkins at defensive tackle, who are you taking for the Cowboys? Type Gilmore or Wilkins in the comments. And one last thing. If you want every roster move the moment it breaks, hit subscribe and help us get to 16,000. Every new sub keeps this community stronger and louder.